Good evening, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching as always, it is appreciated. If you find value in this video, consider liking and subscribing, it does help me out a lot and it does help the channel. We've had a terrorist attack yesterday in Australia, today for us yesterday in Australia, in Bondi Beach. And the death toll at the moment is 16. It was lower, it has rose to 16, and there's many people still in the hospital. Many people in Britain have an affinity for Australia and the other Anglosphere nations such as Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the United States. So my thoughts are with the people of Australia at this time. What do we know? Well, this is the alleged perpetrators. You have to say alleged at this point. Some information has come out, but as these two are alleged to have committed this atrocity on Jewish people in Australia. What else do we know? We know one of them was a Pakistani national. Let's just have a look now. The terror attack against the Hanukkah festival at Bondi Beach never needed to happen. Neither Pakistani perpetrator Naveed Akram or his accomplice needed to be in Australia. No jihadist should be in a white Christian country to cause murder and mayhem. It's hard to disagree with that. It is really hard to disagree with that sentiment. Alright? The problem, now we don't even know at this point if they were Islam. I don't believe that information's been released anyway. Let's work on the assumption that they were of the religion of peace. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. There's no filter. The Western nations of the world, which, let me remind you, is a very small portion of the world, don't have these same stringent controls on Muslims coming into the West that many Muslim majority countries have. The Muslim Brotherhood, for example, has been purged from the UAE to name one, that's the United Arab Emirates. They do not tolerate radical Islam in their country, and yet, because we have no filter for the Muslims that come into the West, we don't know which ones are radical and which ones aren't. What we do know is that about 1% of the Muslims, for example, in the United Kingdom, are on the terror watch list. So that's 1 out of 100. 4 million in the United Kingdom. You do the maths, that's what, 400,000 are radicalised. And what you need to also remember is that there's many people that aren't radicals themselves in the religion of peace, but they have sympathies with the radicals. And you also need to remember is that the people that run the majority Muslim countries, like I believe this is the foreign minister from the UAE from a few years ago, this is what he put out as well.
And let me say this in English so you can understand what I'm saying.
I have translation.
No, I know you have translation, but I just want to make sure you get it right. There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of the lack of decision-making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
So we'll leave that there, but that's either the current or the former foreign minister, that's from about 8 or 9 years ago, warning the West that you need to be vigilant against radical Islam. Because all of the radicals that have been purged from the Muslim majority countries, they just move to another country and they bring their mindset and their ideology with them. For example, I'm a Christian. There's many things in the Bible that if you took them literally would be quite radical by today's standards. There's an argument that if you're not following Christianity to the letter of what it teaches in the Bible, then you are a non-believer. Anyone's faith is for themselves to decide. That's an issue. or not an issue. What is the issue is when you impose that ideology on other people. Now, the basis of our country is that we are a Christian country. That is the basis. If I started going around in the United Kingdom saying that atheists or people not of the faith were, I don't know, bad things should happen to them, shall we say, I'd be arrested in like 2 seconds. And yet, in many Western countries, and I'll include Australia and I'll include the United Kingdom in this, there's radicalized Muslims in mosques, and they preach this sort of hate and they preach this sort of bile every single day, and nothing is done about it. This is the issue, and this is the issue I'm calling attention to here in this video. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. When is the West actually going to look at this and think we need to do something about it? One was too many. We've had so many attacks, and you never see them from other religions. Here's the thing, alright, this is the issue. You never see these types of terrorist attacks from Christians, Hindus, Sikhs, Jews. You never see it. If it was evenly distributed between all the faiths, and you could say, right, it was Christians this week, it was Jews last week, it's Hindus next week, it's Muslims the week after. Fine, fair enough, we could have a debate and we could have a conversation about purging the radicalisation of individuals from all religions. All the other religions done this centuries ago, but this was never done with Islam. Now, they say globally about 25% of the entire Muslim population is radicalised. Now, if you've got over 1 billion Muslims in the world, that's over 250 million. And if the West has no filter for which are being let into our countries and not, you've got a heck of a problem. I hate to say it, I told you so. People have been warned. Our leaders have been warned time and time again. What I will say is, I will look back in anger. I will be aggravated. This does upset me. I'm not going to turn the other cheek as the Bible teaches me to do. I'm not going to do that. The time for being nice is over, in my opinion. You let me know. Do you think that radical Islam needs to be purged? Or more to the point, there's many online that will say that Muslims or the Muslims as a bloc have no place in the Western world. The issue, as I say, is the radicalized elements of the Muslims have not been purged, and they have not been ostracized from the religion, and they've not been ostracized from the West. That is why it's a problem. Now, if you like this video and you stand with the people of Australia, let me know. This is a direct result of mass migration to Western civilization that nobody voted for. I hope I've been balanced, and I hope I've been even-handed in this. If you like this video, consider subscribing, and as I say, share the video as well. I'm sick of this. You can get desensitized to things like this when you hear about these attacks every other day on girls and women in the UK by certain people of certain religions, shall we say. You could get desensitized to it, and to a point I have been, but I thought I'd make a video on this because we need to speak about it. I appreciate your time. You have a good day. And solidarity with my brothers and sisters in Australia. Alright? The mother country is with you. We're with you in spirit, and you'll get through this. Thank you for your time.